folks, it's Jason here. I'm a few days late on this, but I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and a very happy, festive, and safe New Year. We're now in 2016, and this is my first video of the new year. So I wanted to share a few highlights of 2015, and I'll also give you guys a few things that you can expect from me in 2016. So, last year, 2015, I really had to sit back and think about that for a moment. 2015 was kind of strange for me, and I think the thing that made it weird was the fact that I turned 40. That was back in May. Now, the cool thing about turning 40 is my wife's birthday is the same month, so we got to experience that together. It's kind of like going to the principal's office. I'm sure many of you have been there before. You know, you get in trouble, you get written up, you got to go to the principal's office. You don't want to be there by yourself. You want to be there with your best friend. So my wife and I turned 40 together. So actually, you know, I'm halfway joking. It's not a bad thing. You know, the fact is I'm healthy. I'm probably the strongest I've ever been. I'm probably the most creative I've ever been. I'm a little bit wiser than I was, 5, 10, 20 years ago. So hey, it's not a bad thing. I had a few changes at work, at my day job, which I won't bore you with the details of that. I won't get into that. But sometimes, good stress is still stress in your life. So that has an impact on you. So what was a major highlight of 2015? Oh, going to Thailand. I had never been out of the country before. So we went to Thailand in October, November of 2015. And that was just, I can't say enough good things about that trip. I so needed that. And even as a kid, I'd always dreamed of going overseas to one of the Asian countries. And many of you know my wife is Thai and her mom is full Thai. So I got to meet some of my family over there, my extended family that I've never met before. So that was an amazing trip. And I'll try to put together like a clip. I'll throw some metal music behind it. And put together a clip of just pictures and stuff like that we took over there and share with you guys. Hopefully I can get to that in the next week or so. I'll do my best. So that's the major highlights of 2015. I will say this. Even though I didn't release any, officially release any music, which I do kind of regret that, guys. I wish I had put out an album last year, but even though I didn't put out an album last year, I probably practiced, played, and wrote more music in 2015 than I ever have, and as an adult. Of course, when you're a kid, when you're like 15, 16, and you don't really have any real responsibility other than going to school, you can play guitar all the time, play music all the time. But as you know, as an adult, when you have a real job to go to, and some of you guys have family responsibilities, and just you have so much responsibility, as an adult. So a lot of people, have a hard time finding time to play music and to practice and to write and that sort of thing. This year, again, I probably wrote more music than I've ever written. So that being said, even though I didn't release anything, what can you expect from me in 2016? Well, one is an album I have coming up that's going to be released in January. This month, I'm pushing, I had a pretty aggressive date for mid-January, but realistically it's probably going to be more towards the end of January. The album is called Heavy Metal Workout, and it's a concept album, and it's a metal instrumental, but it's really geared towards people that train. It's kind of my niche that hopefully I'm creating. And I know people make like workout playlists and that sort of thing, and those are cool, but this album is strictly geared towards people that work out, people that train. So that doesn't mean if you don't work out that you can't listen to it. It's instrumental metal. Anybody can listen to it. But I encourage you, if you don't work out, guys, and I'm not saying you got to lift heavy weights or whatever, but which I encourage that too. But if you guys don't train, if you're watching this and you don't do anything active, you don't train, you don't walk, you don't do any kind of exercise, please start. That's important. And, again, I talked about turning 40 this year, and I'm probably the healthiest I've ever been. And it's because of the cumulative effect of, years and years and years of just doing, right? Of just being active, of keeping my body in shape. And it's not even so much about cosmetic, it's about just being healthy. Again, you don't, if you're not into lifting heavy weights, you don't have to do that, but just do something to be healthy. So that's coming out. And since I have written so much music in 2015, I already have the songs written for that album, and I've got half of the songs written for another instrumental album called Dark Hysteria. I gave you guys kind of a preview of that a couple months ago. I hope to release that, I don't know, probably in June, May or June or something like that. And I've got some other musical projects. I don't want to get too far into those right now, but there's another album that I've kind of put on the back burner, and it's got vocals in the whole 9 yards. But I'm looking at re-recording that, and I'd really like to release that this year as well. So, but what you can expect from me, you can at least expect those 2 albums come out. Heavy Metal Workout, that'll be coming out in January, and Dark Hysteria, another album that will be coming out probably in May or sometime in June. So that's it. I don't have a beer review for you guys. It's still kind of early on a Sunday morning, and actually it's 1:30. I can have a beer. I'll finish my coffee first. I'm drinking coffee. As you can see, I'm a Christmas fanatic, man. I'm still drinking, out of my my Christmas mug here. It's got a cool little snowman on it. And of course, my coffee's cold. Alright guys, well that's it. That's a recap of 2015 and a few things you can expect from me in 2016. Seriously guys, I hope all of you had a wonderful holiday season, and stay tuned. There is more to come. Bye bye now.